Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, this is the response to the question how to design a study that I've often gotten from my student. Okay, so how do you design a study? Now, an experimental study, if you come across this question, this is how you can go about it. All right, so the first and foremost, let's look at the question itself. Dr. Elizabeth Robert is interested in investigating the effect of sleep deprivation on mathematical problem solving ability in university students. So, design a laboratory experiment to test this hypothesis. All right, so the first thing I advise you do is to outline your paragraph. What are you going to discuss in each of the paragraph? So you can have your paragraph one, introduction of variable if it's an experiment. Try to talk about variable. Paragraph two, method and procedure. Paragraph three, ethical consideration. Paragraph four, analysis. But if you're asked not to talk about ethical consideration, then you can break this paragraph three into methods they're going to adopt, and then the paragraph three, procedure. All right, so it basically depends on you. All right, now, so what is the variable? You have your IV. Identify your IV from the question, sleep deprivation. Now, how is it operationally defined? Okay, we want to see how this can affect the problem solving performance. Now, you can go ahead and operationally define it as 4 hours. So, which means 4 hours is sleep deprivation. Okay, now that depends on you. You can be creative around it. Whatever you choose, it's left to you. You can choose 3 hours, you can choose 5 hours, you can choose 2 hours. That depends totally on you, right? Now versus the 8 hours of control group. Now 8 hours is referred to the full sleep. Okay, full hour sleep, full sleep. Okay, 8 hours. Now what about the DV, the mathematical problem solving performance? And that will be operationally defined as the score on a standard mathematical test assessing problem solving ability. All right, so you can decide to choose any other test that you know that is actually common. You can decide to use that as well. So this depends on your level of creativity as well. That is the necessity for brainstorming before you write your answer. Now, method and procedure describe the experimental design here. If you want to use a matched pair, repeated measure, independent measure design, it's left for you, right? So you can use any of that, all right? And then how you're going to assign them, okay? If it's going to be random assignment, random allocation to is another method, okay? It just depends on you, how you want to go about it. Just ensure you pick a pattern, all right? Now, after that, you explain the procedure in paragraph two. You talk about the experimental group undergoes sleep deprivation, okay, e.g., limited to 4 hours of sleep or kept awake for 24 hours. Now, when they are kept awake, okay, for 24 hours, that depends on you, right? So it depends on how you want to go about it. You allow them have just 4 hours sleep and then you wake them up and they go to have their test. Or you just keep them awake for the entire 24 hours. You ensure they do not sleep, all right? And then you take them for the test. Now, the control group received a full night's sleep. All right, now after the sleep intervention, all participants complete a standardized mathematical test, and then ethical consideration, discuss the ethical issue. So you can discuss any ethical issue that is related to your study. You can talk about, you can begin to identify if you're going to give them informed consent, you're going to give them explain right to withdraw to them, okay? How you're going to closely monitor them during the experiment, okay? For example, to ensure that they do not sleep and then they do not get exposed to harm or whatever situation. If you have anything about ethical consideration that you are going to consider for your experiment, then you can identify them here under the outline before you write your response. Now, method of analysis is the last paragraph. You explain how you're going to interpret your data. Okay, you can use inferential statistics. That depends on you. Okay, you can use inferential statistic, and in case you don't really understand this technical terms under analysis, then you might just use, okay, the result of the data will be analyzed using a table form, and then the mean score will be calculated, or you just say the mean score of both conditions will be calculated, and then they will be recorded in a table, okay, and analyzed using a bar chart. Okay, so that basically depends on you. All right, so this is another method that I've decided to choose here, independent sample t-test, okay, which is also the same thing as what I've explained, okay, trying to calculate the mean and comparing between both condition. All right. So now moving to the response now. Okay, now the first paragraph, which is introduction of variable. So in this study, the independent variable is sleep deprivation, okay, which is operationally defined. This is an explanation now. Okay, you're using more vocabularies to join your words together so they sound like a continuous prose, a, um, a full explanation. All right, as the amount of sleep provided to participants, specifically restricting the experimental group to 4 hours of sleep while the control group received a full 8 hours. Can you see that? All right, now the dependent variable is the mathematical problem solving performance measured by the score obtained from on a standardized mathematical test, okay, designed to assess problem solving ability. Now, the second paragraph, method and procedure. The study will use a true experimental design with 40 university students, okay, randomly assigned to one of the two conditions, which is also a form of independent measure design, right? Now, the sleep deprived group and the control group. All right, so these are the two conditions. In a control laboratory setting, the experimental group will experience sleep deprivation, either, okay, now you can decide to choose any one of these. It's also left for you. I just decided to include both so you can have the possibility. All right, you can also use both to represent the experimental group. So far you explain the detail of what you're going to do and it makes sense, then you're fine. Now, while the control group is going to enjoy a full night's sleep, which is 8 hours, all right? Okay, just try as much as possible to quantify your data. You can see that I'm trying to use numbers as much as possible. This is to make it easier for me to analyze. All right. Now, after the sleep intervention, all participants will complete the same standardized test, the same thing, which will be assessed, which will assess their problem solving ability. Now, ethical consideration. Given the potential risk associated with sleep deprivation, strict ethical safeguard will be implemented. Participants will be provided with comprehensive informed consent detailing the nature, all right, including excuse me, now the potential psychological and physiological effect of reduced sleep. All right, so they will have access to all that. They'll be informed of their right to withdraw and everything you want to talk about. Okay, so you just analyze them under the ethics there. All right, and then the method of analysis. Quantitative data represented by the mathematical test score will be analyzed using independent sample t-test, all right, to compare the performance of the sleep deprived group with the control group. All right, so just an explanation of what you are going to do or what Dr. Elizabeth is going to do. All right, so you just explain it in detail. So that is the reason outlining what you're going to put in each paragraph is very important. So once you do that, then you can begin to connect them together. So it is as simple as that. All right, so the inferential statistics basically talks about the ability to be able to generalize, or let me say interpret data and generalize it, okay? But you might not talk about that. It's left for you. All right, but one thing that is good here is please try as much as possible to keep this in mind. Independent sample t-test, I think it's a good thing you can use for most of the data that involves quantitative data. All right, if you're designing a study and it's quantitative, you can simply use that. Excuse me. So, and that is safe and good. And then you're going to explain that you're going to compare between the experimental group, or maybe Dr. Elizabeth should compare between the experimental group and the control group. All right. So then inferential statistic basically just means interpreting which group performs better. We determine whether any observed difference in mathematical problem solving performance are statistically significant. Okay, now furthermore, the reliability and validity of this test will be assessed to ensure that it is consistently measures problem solving ability. All right, so you can do that over and over again. Like after giving it to them, you can even have a test again, to ensure that there is reliability. So that basically depends on you. All right, so the most important thing is to have your detail well structured, and then you connect them in the response. All right, so that will be it for now. I'm trying to make the video as short as possible, so stay tuned for more videos on how to design a study. All right, bye.